Welcome back, everybody. I know it's been quite a minute since I've made another video, but don't worry, it's not because I'm quitting or anything like that. It's just I've been in quite the creative rut recently with moving and getting a new job and just getting acquainted to a new space and getting everything set up. It's just been a lot of extra things going on in life, and I honestly haven't even picked up a camera since the last video, but that's what today's video is about. How to get yourself out of a creative rut. I think that I see a lot of YouTube videos on how to stop a creative rut, but you never truly can stop it. It's gonna happen. It's natural for any artist to kind of expend too much energy in a creative process, and eventually you get into a slump. That's just how it is. That's just how artists are. You expend a lot of energy on trying to be creative and working on multiple projects at one time, and you get a little burnt out, and that's totally okay. I think what I want to preface before we even start is that these things happen. They're natural. It doesn't mean that you're a bad artist or that you're not creative enough. It doesn't mean that you lack passion or that you simply just aren't good enough. These things happen to the best of us. Literally, to the best of us. It just happens. So welcome back to another video. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started. So as I just mentioned, I personally just got out of a burnout myself. Like I said, these things happen all the time. I think that in my 10 years of shooting, I've probably burned out every single year. It just happens. A burnout can start because of something that has absolutely nothing to do with the creative process. It can be extra stress in your life or anything that has to do with just life in general. It just happens. These things occur. Maybe you've been creating for so long that the act of actually creating something just sort of seems mundane. It doesn't really hold any purpose like it once did, and it just doesn't feel the same as it used to. Like I said, I just want to let you know that that is totally okay. It's normal. It happens. Maybe you're not producing the type of work that you want to produce. Maybe you're taking on projects that you're not super passionate about, and that's a one-way ticket to feeling burnt out. But I think that this is the point in which I want to express how you can grow. At one point in my life, I used to think that being burnt out was a bad thing. And granted, it's not the best feeling in the world, but it's also sort of like a double-edged sword. Maybe you're the same way as me, but I used to feel like if I wasn't doing something creative, then I wasn't an artist. I felt like I was failing. I felt like that if I wasn't producing work constantly, then I wasn't a good artist at all. That's not true. If you think that way, coming from experience, you have to stop. Take a moment, reflect on what you've done. Step back and compliment yourself for once. Compliment yourself on the work that you've already completed. Oftentimes as artists, we get so wrapped up in what's coming next. You know, you finish a project and you're on to the next one. You finish that project, your head's already gone on to the next one, and you're constantly thinking of new creative ideas, and it's just a cluster up in your head, and you never truly get to reflect on the good things that you've already accomplished. I know that personally because I took 3.5 years to publish my first book. I published it on my birthday in April, May, June, July. It's been 4 months and I still truly haven't even reflected back on it yet. Now that we've discussed that just because you're in a burnout doesn't mean that you're not a good artist, it actually could implement growth. Let's discuss 4 steps that I took to get myself out of my burnout. First, I know this is a big one, but I haven't even touched my camera. Haven't even touched it. I barely even looked at it. I let it sit on this shelf right here for nearly a month, and some time away from your respected gear and tools is healthy for redevelopment. After about 2 weeks through my burnout, I often found myself missing my camera. I would go out into the world and I would go around the city and everything like that, and I would see photographs that were worth taking, and I'd be really upset with myself over the fact that I didn't have my camera with me, which was something that I personally carried with me everywhere. I noticed the light, I noticed shadows and color and scenes and composition, and I saw it all, and I would shoot myself in the foot because I didn't have my camera. I didn't feel that way though in the first 2 weeks of my burnout. Now, after about a month, I'm more than ready to pick back up the camera. I'm more than ready to go back out into the city and find all those scenes that I found before and start shooting them. Taking the necessary break from something that you use every day can make the value in that thing grow exponentially by the time that you return to it. Second, and I think that this one is a very big one for everybody in general when you're feeling a little stressed and burnt out just in life, I stopped scrolling through my social medias as much, specifically Instagram. I follow a lot of photographers, and looking at their work while I feel burnt out can feel very toxic, and it's honestly harmful. It's a harmful thing to do when you're in a creative rut. This can lead to you comparing your work to them, and it can lead to self-doubt. You're better than that. Everybody's better than that. You don't need to compare yourself just because you feel like you're in a rut. Don't ever compare yourself to somebody else, anytime, but especially when you're in a burnout. Instead, try and limit your screen time. Enjoy some extracurricular activities. Engage in some other forms of art. Maybe draw, maybe paint. Put all that stress into physical attributes. Pick up weightlifting, go for runs. During my break from photography, I got a job at a coffee shop, and now I know how to make coffees. My exercise routines and workout routines have been a lot more intense, and overall I have felt a greater quality of life. Which brings me to my third point. Read, and read. I'm an avid reader, and I always suggest that you read as many books as you can. With each book comes a new world that you can place yourself into and new knowledge to learn, more power and creativity. With each book comes understanding of one's own self and those around you. Personally, I already read a lot of books about photography, hence this whole channel. So since I started my burnout, I haven't really picked up a book on photography, but for those of you just starting in the world of photography, I think that if you're feeling a little burnt out from the process of taking photos, you can learn about the process of taking photos. You can pick up books like The Chronology of Photography, learn about the great photographers of earlier generations, or maybe pick up a book on some compositional strategies and stuff like that. However, if you're like me and you already have a vast knowledge on these types of photographers and compositional strategies, and you just are feeling burnt out from photography in general, then allow me to suggest some books for you. I am a lover of psychology. I would call myself a disciplined person, but when I fall into depressive episodes and slip, I run out of steam. Life throws things my way, or just our way in general, all at once. And it can be a lot, and sometimes we fall. This happens all the time in regular life, let alone a creative one. So here's some people, books, and podcasts that I think that you should take a listen to or watch or read that can help you get out of a burnout or a creative burnout in general. And so here they are. First is Jocko Willink's Discipline Equals Freedom. This is a great book for just about anybody, male, female, 40 years old, 15 years old. Jocko is an ex-Navy SEAL, and he takes discipline to the next level. You wouldn't think that this is something that a creative can use, but if you're going to run your own business and you are going to try and make money off of your art, then you need to be disciplined. It takes a lot of work to be an artist. So I think that this is a great read. He really puts life into a different perspective. All of the stresses that you may be feeling right now can feel so minuscule whenever you gain a little perspective. So this is a great read. You can follow him on Instagram. I'll put that down below as well. Next is, I have the book here somewhere. Oh, I can't find it right now, but the next book that I suggest is Show Your Work by Kleon. I think it's a great read that every single creative should take a gander at, just because it's chock full of information that everybody should be learning. It's influenced me to create this channel. It's influenced me to be more transparent with my work, and has ultimately gained me basically all the followers that I have now. Third is 12 Rules for Life, an Antidote to to Chaos by Jordan B. Peterson. Jordan B. Peterson is a psychologist, to say the very least. He is a professor and genius at understanding the human mind. And I think that as artists, there is a lot of chaos in our life, and there are a lot of things that are going on in our heads at one time. And understanding that chaos and finding an antidote to it is one of the best things that I've learned. And it's not the easiest read. I will admit there are a lot of ideologies and words and just things in the book that may be a little bit more difficult to understand. I wouldn't pick it up first. That's for sure. I think I would definitely start with Discipline Equals Freedom or Show Your Work, but nonetheless, it's a great read. And if you are willing to take the time to better understand yourself, then you can better understand the work that people want to see. Understanding yourself is one of the best ways to get out of a creative rut. Enacting a plan and putting it into action and actually going through with it is one of the healthiest things that you can do when you feel burnt out. I personally love waking up early. Others do not. Totally understand. It does suck sometimes. It doesn't make me more or less of a person because I wake up early. It's just that that's how I operate. I love getting up early, getting a workout in, coming back and starting my day. Step 4, this may seem like an easy one, but it's anybody that's been in a creative rut or has had depression or has just been broken down before knows that this is a very hard one to do, and that's just getting things done. When you're in a creative rut, it's so easy to just take the easy way out, and it's so easy to let everything else in your life slide. You lost your will to do the one thing that you love to do, and so why do anything else, right? Wrong. Doing something every single day, no matter how small or insignificant it may feel, is still one step in the right direction. You're taking that step forward even when you don't want to, and you're telling your brain that you don't care that it's down and you don't care that you're broken down and that you're in a creative rut. You're still going to do something every single day, whether it's write, whether it's draw, whether it's working out or getting outside and looking at the world, or who knows, cooking, whether it's doing those chores that you don't want to do, or whether it's doing your schoolwork when you know you don't want to do. It's doing those things every single day, no matter how bad you really don't want to, and just sticking it through. Do them so that you can build up that discipline, so when this happens again, you know that at least you have a foundation that you can work with. Continue to build up those small little victories, and I guarantee you, you will find yourself out of your burnout and out of your creative rut much faster than you ever would before. Well, that is it for the video today. I hope that you guys enjoyed or at least learned something. I hope that you're able to apply it to your own life whenever you're feeling a little burnt out. Sorry for the disappearance. Like I said, I've been quite burnt out, but we are back. And I am very ready to be able to produce more content for you guys and take you down this journey. We are going to be moving to 3 videos a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So again, it will be a Q&A, it will be a crafting a photograph, and then an artist talk. And then every once in a while, we'll slip in some personal work there. But I'm very excited to be back, and thank you all so much for all the constant support while I've been away. I haven't not noticed all of the comments and everything, so I appreciate all of you. Now, get out there and get shooting.